Marco. Dustin and I are out for a jet ski day and came to Dickman's. He brought me here so I can check out the shells for you guys. So we're on the north end. So crazy how much it changes every time I come out here. You guys that have seen my videos from Dickman's before, you know that there's kind of the Gulf side over here, which is usually a little bit more rough, and then you've got the other side, which is more muddy, but still has a lot of shells. Dickman's is known for sand dollars, so if you come out here, come prepared to bring something to put them in. Look at all the fighting conchs! Oh my gosh, so many. So you can see it's just real muddy on this side. It's not uncommon for the bay side to be a little bit more muddy and the shells to be a little bit more stinky. So just be prepared for that if you pick up shells from this side. But we're gonna walk over here to the Gulf side. It's such a beautiful day here. See a little crab trap that washed up. Those little sea trees that I know a lot of you like. Tons of cockle shells. Look at all of them. So if you were looking for cockle shells, my tip for you is when you come to Dickman's, it's easy to get overwhelmed with shells. So my advice is if you're like, oh my gosh, I want a bunch of cockle shells to take home to use for crafting or whatever, my advice is to go shelling first and then get the cockles last. Otherwise you're going to be hauling a bunch of heavy shells around, and you're going to fill your shell bag really quickly. Here's a little operculum here, little pieces of driftwood everywhere. Here's a little barnacle cluster, which is really fun. You guys know I love those. Here's a whelk. I mean, tons of little pieces of driftwood too, which is something you don't find on all of the beaches. Kais Island is great for it. Morgan is great for it. Keewaydin. But a lot of the beaches like Marcos, Sanibel, Fort Myers Beach usually don't have a whole lot of driftwood pieces. So it's a little bit wavy to shell the brake line, although you guys know I love shelling the brake line, especially here at Dickman's. This would be a good day if you had like a scooper to take your scooper and scoop up a bunch of shells and take them up to the beach and go through them and see what you find, because I can see some stuff here in the brake line. There's a whelk right there. Let me see if I can grab it. Hold on, I gotta get my sleeve up right here. So looking for things that are rolling, looking for color is your best bet for the brake line. And then obviously if you're scooping, just blind scoop and cross fingers and hope that you get some good stuff. I'm just walking real quick here to see if I see anything. And then too, you know, it's a little bit rough and it looks a little deep out there to get to the sandbar, but in here is where you can find some of the giant horse conchs too. This is a popular breeding ground for them. So a lot of times you'll find some big shells. Always check them to make sure that nobody's home, because this is a popular place to find live shells as well. So always just be sure that you're double and triple checking. Just trying to see if I see anything here in the brake line that catches my eye. Some conchs, some whelks. There's a pretty olive. Let's see if I can grab. Here it is right here. Oh, look how pretty. Oh, I just saw orange Oh, I thought it was a true, but it's painted. Still pretty. Still pretty tulip. And someone asked me in a comment, I wanted to answer, and I'm so sorry I don't remember who it was, but recently asked me, you know, what are your favorite kinds of shells to find as far as like rare shells go? So obviously alphabet cones, Genonias, your Scotch bonnet, a lion's paw is still on my seashell bucket list. I have not found one. I found pieces, but not a whole one as of yet. But, you know, true tulips, good sized horse conch. So we find the small ones, you know, I'd say like an inch and under, like the kind of juveniles. But I love finding horse conchs that are like 4 or 5 inches. Those are kind of the more rare size to find. But those are kind of the shells, I guess, on the top of my mind when I'm coming shelling of like what I really want to try to find. So I don't know if you guys saw that. Hold on, let me go back. All right, so this was the break line where I picked up some of the olives and the tulip, and see how the shells are kind of white, and then all of a sudden it changes right here, and all of a sudden the color changes of the shells. Do you guys see that? So they're more dark, they're more gray. This is going to be mini tinyville, so if you are scooping, you're going to find a lot more minis and tinies in here. I'm not sure why that is. It's just, in my experience, that's just another tip for you to look for. But there is like a distinct change in the break line sometimes from what you'll find. You'll still find some, you know, olives and stuff and whelks and whatever, conchs floating. But if you do scoop, this is a great place for your mini and tiny shells. I'll try to come up here so you guys can see. I don't know if you'll be able to see anything here when the water gets calm. This is kind of going to be what's down there. So just to give you guys another little tip. Oh, there's a little better spot up here. So this is what's all washing up. And it's just a little bit more gray, but this is going to be a good place for your minis, tinies. I'm not going to take a whole lot of time shelling this little spot, but this is a little place right here. Saw a really pretty whelk right here. See if I can grab it. Oh, where did it go? You guys see it? Oh, here it is, over here. So like sometimes the waves are moving, right? And the current's moving. So if you're standing in one spot and you see a shell and then all of a sudden you don't see it anymore, you might have to move down a little bit to see it. So there you go. That's a really pretty one. Throw these up on the beach for some shellers. I know, I can tell some of you guys are like, get out of the break line. We can't see. I'm sorry. I'm such a break line sheller. I will come up here so you guys can see some shells in the rack line. Let's see. Here we go. We got some conchs here. Conchs. Well, so pretty. And this is also a really good spot for the Sunray Venus too. Sometimes you'll find some big ones. Ooh, here's a pretty horse conch. Okay, so like this size and a little bit larger are the kind that I don't find very often at all. So that's kind of what I was telling you about. Oh, here's an angel wing, a little broken. But Kais and Morgan are also really good places to find angel wings. You guys know I love the barnacle clusters. They're just fun. I don't know why. Somebody asked me that. Why do you like those? I don't know why. I just do. And then Rhonda, this is for you. Rhonda loves sea whips, and this is a really cool one. It's got a piece of sea pork attached, but look how big if I can get this piece of sea pork off, Rhonda, I'll bring this home for you, but it's on there. It's on there pretty good. So sea pork is kind of a colony of filter feeders, really. And it's not the kind of pork you eat. I don't really know why they call it pork. But anyway, this is a really pretty sea whip. Rhonda, I'm sorry. I don't think I can get that sea pork off for you, but it's so cool. I'll try, and if I can, I'll bring it to you. That's a really cool piece. I love sea whips. It's not, again, they're not something we find often, but usually like after a big storm, they come in and they'll be all over the beach. Here's another, oh, here's an angel wing, and it's pretty perfect, so that's a keeper. So many fun shells here. Here's a cool piece of driftwood too. I'm coming back to the brake line real quick because I'm seeing so much color here. Tide's going out, so the water's gonna get a little bit more calm. Look at all the color. Here, I'm gonna hold you guys here for a second so you can see. Water visibility is not excellent, but hopefully you'll be able to still see some of what I'm seeing. There's a big whelk right there. And I know a lot of you have asked me for more brake line tutorials, so I am trying to accommodate requests. I know that some of you like get frustrated because you can't really see what I see, but what I'm hoping for is when I teach you what to look for, when you're here in person, it'll make sense, and you'll say, oh my gosh, I remember that she told me to look for things rolling or look for color or whatnot, and it'll help you when you're actually here be able to find some really cool stuff. I'm trying to get you guys to a clear spot here, but the waves are just not cooperating. Y'all, look at this rack line of driftwood. Oh my gosh, there's so many cool little pieces and stuff here. I could literally pick up driftwood like all day. I don't know what it is about driftwood. I just think it's fun. Maybe it's because I haven't been on a lot of beaches where it's that prevalent, so it's always fun finding a piece. But look at all of it. So one good thing about storms and hurricanes is they bring in all of this. And it just goes all the way down. From super big pieces to the little fun ones that you can put to accent your shell bowl. Oh, that's a really cool piece too. I'd haul that thing home if we were on the jet ski. Oh my word. I hope I'm focused. So you guys know I'm a brake line sheller, but my other favorite secret place to shell is gonna be up here in like the junk line, right, and all the beach trash, where you're gonna find the driftwood and you're gonna find the egg casings and the operculums and the sea beans and all the fun stuff. And over here I spy with my little eye a horseshoe crab. So some of you know what horseshoe crabs are, some of you might not, but they are literally like the oldest living creature on the planet. They have been around for billions of years, back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. So this is what they look like. They get big, they get like that big. So this is a juvenile. So that's about how big they get, hand size for reference. They can get very large. This one's obviously no longer alive, all dried out. But if you flip them over, this is what they look like underneath. So they're a crab. They look like a crab with their little legs and everything. A lot of times you'll find these and they're just the shed, and then sometimes you'll find them and the animal is deceased. So either way, I like to clean these out. So what I would do is I don't think I can do this with one hand, but this right here would crack right here. If you can see it separating right there. Okay, and then all this comes out like that. Hopefully you guys can see. I know the sun's not at a great angle. And you just want to be careful because their shells, obviously all crab shells are just really delicate. Okay, but if you pull all this out, I need 2 hands here. There we go. And then you've cleaned out your crab, and you just have the shell left over. So that's your little tutorial on how to clean out your horseshoe crab. All right, everyone, I know this was a quickie, but I'm so glad you were able to join me for a little quick shelling excursion here at Dickman's. I'm so glad Dustin and I were able to get out here today because it is just absolutely beautiful. The temperature is great. It's not super windy. The water's just so nice. If you are visiting Marco, please let us know if you're interested in coming out to one of the beaches, learning how to wakeboard, wake surf, take the kids tubing. Please check out our website at watersports.com. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, I'd love to hear it. You can leave a comment below, or you can message me directly at virtualshelling@gmail.com. As always, I wish you a shell-tastic day, and we will see you again soon.